Hello friends, welcome to Skill Training Workshop 2020. Myself Akhilesh Pratap Singh. So today we are going to learn about the structure in C. So before coming to the structure, we have to know why we are studying the structure. So earlier we have read about the primitive data type like integer, float, character and all those things. So integer, float and character primitive data types were able to store only those type of data type. Like integer can store only integer data type. Like array of integer can store only integer data type. But suppose you have to store a string and integer together, like integer and float together, then till now we have not studied anything by which we can store integer and float together, integer and character together, float and character together. So suppose you have to make a database in which you have to store the students data, like student are having names, student are having roll number, student are having marks. So name you can store in character array, and roll number you can store in integer array, and float marks you can store in the float array. But the problem in this that integer array will be at different position, float array will be at different position, and character array will be at different position. Like you have to store the 100 student data. So like integer will be at 8000 memory address, like mark will be 8000 memory address, float will be at 10,000 memory address, and character array of character array means name will be at 70,000 memory address. So if you have to find out the particular student name, marks and roll number, then it is very difficult because everything is a different memory block. like like here we are trying to store the name in one array, roll number in one array and mark in one array. So but when the number of the input become more, then creates problem. Like 1 lakh input are there, 1 lakh student are there. So the problem is that if something wrong happens in one array, the whole sequence will become very like troublesome, and we will not able to find out the name and roll number and marks of any student. So but structure provides enable us to store the collection of different data type. Okay, so different data type like integer and float is there, string, and like in the case of student there were integer, float and array of character array. So structure combine the all three things together. It gives a collection of whole data type, and it makes a different data type only. So here we can see struct employee integer id name and salary. So employee having id name and salary, and struct employee is a totally different data type which is made by making the collection of these primitive data types. Like earlier we were saying, we were able to see that array, all those array like in id name and salary would be a different memory block only. But here by using this we can put the integer id name and salary in a single block. Like here we are putting id name and salary in a single block only, so it is very easy to accessible and our data will not lose anywhere. Okay, so in this way we declare struct, we are in this way we give the definition of particular structure. A struct employee entity character name and float salary. So these are the members of a structure, and this is a struct keyword, and that employee is the structure tag. So in this way we define the structure. Okay, so declaring, we can declare the structure variable in the two ways. First way is that earlier we used to declare a local variable like int a, b, int c. So in the same way we can declare it as a local variable struct employee e1 e2. Second way is that you can declare it while at the time of giving definition only. Here we are giving the definition. At this time only we are declaring it. Okay, you can see here. So when to use this type of first way and when to use second way. So when number of variable are fixed, like we know that only 3 variable in the whole code are required, so we can fix initially even e2 and e3 here only, and in this way we can go on doing the code everywhere. But if suppose it is the requirement of the code that we have to declare a variable, we want to declare as a local variable, so you can declare it as a local variable inside the code also, main function also. So which approach is good? According to the requirement, we can use whatever way is required. So accessing the member of the structure. So we can access the member of a structure by two ways. So first one is dot operator, by using dot operator. Second one is using structure pointer operator. So by using dot operator, like P1 is the employee and we want to find the ID of that particular employee. So how do we get P1.id in this way? You can see in the example that E1.id, E1 is an employee, here we have declared at the time of definition only, and here we can see E1.id. By this we are able to get the ID, and E1.name, by this we are able to get the name of the employee. So next we will study about the typedef. Typedef is a very wonderful tool which we use here mainly in structure. We can use it anywhere, but mainly we use in structure. So typedef basically redefine the name of already existing variable. Suppose like large name is there, struct employee, and struct unsigned int. Here you can see here it is unsigned int. So again and again if we have to write, then it takes a lot of time to write, and code of the size of the code gets increased. So to reduce the size of code, we can use typedef existing name and new name. So typedef unsigned int and unit. So instead of writing unsigned int whole, we can just write unit, and the our work will be done. Okay. Next one is that we can see in struct student also. Here we can see struct student character name and age, and type of struct student stud. So we have changed the name of struct student stud, and by using stud we can declare the variable of struct student. Okay. So next we will see the array of structure. So like we will suppose we have to store the data of 5 students. So one way is that you can declare the variable struct student s2 s2 s3 s4 s5. But if the number of the variable is 100 and something like that, it is very difficult task to declare each and every one. So for that we can take array. Okay, here we have taken array struct student st5, and in this way we have taken the record of the 5 student here. You can see sti.name, sti.roll number. Okay, so every element of array is having id, name and salary. Employee 1 is having own id and name and salary. Employee 2 is having id, name and salary. In the same way every employee is having id, name and salary, and we have taken the array of structure. Okay. Nested structure in C. Okay, so what is nested? Nested means structure inside the structure. Okay. So suppose you have to create two structure, one employee and one student. So employee is also having address, student is also having address. So one method is that you write here city, pin and phone in employee also and in student also. You can write it very easily, but it becomes more lengthy code. Again and again you are writing city, pin, phone. So why not you declare this struct address here only, and you make it as a member here. It became here a data type, and as a member you can call here. Okay, so we have called here, and in this way we have right now we are not writing whole pin, city and phone. We just declare struct address add. In this way we can call employee name, employee add dot city. So in this way we can call the name of particular city, name of the particular employee. Okay, this was the nested. Thank you very much. And in next class there will be a module or something like that. In that we will give some link on for the linked list, and we will study the linked list. Thank you very much.